NVIDIA says it plans to resume its H20 AI chips shipments to China. The stock reacting positively. How big of a deal is this?
Well, I think, when we look back earlier in the year, the company was kind of writing down expected revenue because of some restrictions that were put on them. But I think Wall Street largely did the same, right? We saw earnings expectations come down. We saw revenue expectations coming down. So this is a pretty big reversal. How big of a reversal? Well, 2024, China was about 13% of the company's revenue stream, call it around 17 billion. So we're going to see, multiple billions of dollars coming back in. We saw that opportunity at the Street Pro portfolio, and that's why we raised our price target to 200 from 185, really in response to that.
So $200 a share, that implies a little less than 20% upside.
Correct.
From where it's currently trading, around 170. What gets it to 200?
Well, I think, this is certainly one announcement, but I also see multiple announcements coming that really support that move from 185 to 200. So what are some of those? Obviously, we're going to see the rollout of the President Trump Stargate as that continues to build throughout the year. But we're also seeing other companies just talk about adding additional AI and data center capacity, the bread and butter business for chip demand for Nvidia. Whether it's Meta and what they're doing in Louisiana, whether it's CoreWeave and what they're announcing in Pennsylvania, as well as international demand as well. You put it all together, and I think as we go through the earnings season, we're going to hear aggregate big tech and hyperscaler capital spending move higher back half of this year and 20.
Nvidia, a company in the semiconductor general sector, increased 2.3% during the day on Wednesday. The rally coincided with news that Elon Musk's artificial intelligence AI company, xAI, intends to buy billions of dollars worth of Nvidia chips in order to dramatically increase its hardware capabilities. According to the article, xAI is getting ready for one of the biggest chip purchases in the private sector to date. In order to train and implement massive language models and sophisticated generative AI tools, the corporation is looking to purchase up to $12 billion worth of Nvidia's GPUs, including the coveted H100 and H200 chips. The news's excitement among investors is a reflection of Nvidia's crucial role in the quickly growing AI ecosystem. The business has emerged as the leading supplier of the silicon infrastructure required for advanced machine learning, enabling anything from enterprise AI platforms to autonomous driving systems. Nvidia's chips have become increasingly important to the larger IT industry as the need for generative AI applications rises. Even after a year of phenomenal growth, the investor sentiment further demonstrated their ongoing faith in Nvidia's future. The Microsoft-backed company that created ChatGPT OpenAI has seen competition from Elon Musk's xAI. Musk, an OpenAI co-founder who has since departed the company, has been vocal about the need for more open-ended and transparent AI methods. The possible xAI deal serves as a reminder that Nvidia will probably continue to dominate the AI market for some time to come. Nvidia continues to be at the center of the technological gold rush as businesses from all industries compete to build AI capabilities. Any indication of increased demand, particularly from well-known players like Elon Musk, sends a clear signal to the market. At the moment, Nvidia is ranked number 3, hold. Nvidia has increased 27.1% so far this year, while its peer group has advanced 25.8%. Notable rivals in the same market are Texas Instruments Incorporated, TXN, and Amtech Systems, Inc., ASYS. Texas Instruments and Amtech both have a rank number 3 and have had declines of 0.6% and 10.2% throughout the same timeframe. In conclusion, this advancement not only demonstrates the growing need for generative AI infrastructure, but also reaffirms Nvidia's pivotal role in enabling the upcoming AI revolution. Since the company is still at the forefront of the AI hardware race, investor confidence is still high. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication. So, if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video. Investors were caught off guard by President Donald Trump's recent announcement that he contemplated dismantling Nvidia. Speaking at a Washington AI symposium, Trump claimed that until learning the truth, he had believed that a split would bring much-needed competition to AI processors. Given how far ahead Nvidia is, advisors reportedly informed him it would be extremely difficult to accomplish. "It's not easy in that business," Trump continued, "but I thought we could go in and sort of break them apart a little." It's an uncommon public recognition of how strong Nvidia's lead has grown, to the point that even presidential action may not be able to reverse it. However, the tone changed abruptly. Trump changed his tone from discussing a split to praising CEO Jensen Huang, who was sitting a few feet away. Trump praised Huang and other American tech titans for their contributions to propelling America's leadership in AI, saying, "What a job you've done." Just this week, Nvidia was given permission to start selling its H20 AI processors to China again after the two met at the White House earlier this month. Previously, those exports were prohibited. The approval comes after what seems to be a larger trade pact between Beijing and Washington on AI, which might unlock a multi-billion-dollar market for Nvidia. Trump continued from there. He issued executive orders and a new AI action plan to reduce regulatory barriers for American companies. Speaking just ahead of Trump, Huang hailed the administration's pro-AI posture and described Trump as a special advantage America has over rivals around the world. The message from Washington this week was conflicting, but one thing is clear: Nvidia is no longer just making chips. This is especially true given that the company recently surpassed the $4 trillion valuation mark and that regulatory investigations are still ongoing. It is influencing headlines, legislation, and AI's future. The Financial Times said Thursday that in the 3 months following Washington's tightening of chip export controls, Nvidia's cutting-edge AI chips, valued at least $1 billion, were smuggled to China. According to the report, which cited sales contracts, company records, and several persons with direct knowledge of the transactions, the AI chip designer's expensive B200 processors, which are prohibited from sale in China, are easily accessible on a flourishing Chinese black market for American chips. Since Nvidia only provides service and support for authorized items, the company told Reuters that constructing data centers with smuggled devices is inefficient from a technological and economical standpoint. Requests for response from the White House, Thai government, and U.S. Department of Commerce were not immediately answered. The FT report could not be independently verified by Reuters. According to the article, some Chinese distributors began selling B200s to data center providers that cater to Chinese AI firms in May. Companies like Nvidia are forced to walk a tightrope between the two biggest economies in the world as the US and China compete for supremacy in artificial intelligence, AI, and other cutting-edge technology. Last week, Nvidia announced that it would be permitted to start selling to China again after the Trump administration lifted an export ban on chips like H20. In April, the curbs were put in place. According to the study, Nvidia's B200s and other restricted processors, including the H100 and H200, were sold by Chinese distributors from the provinces of Guangdong, Zhejiang, and Anhui in the 3 months prior. According to the article, which cited industry experts, Chinese entities have gained access to prohibited chips in Southeast Asian countries. According to the report, the U.S. Commerce Department is considering implementing additional export restrictions on cutting-edge AI products to nations like Thailand as early as September. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
Thought it was a good time to just take a second, catch our breath, and look back at July so far. If we pull up my first chart, what I was looking at here was really just a month-to-date look at the S&P 500. You talked about all the records. This is a linear regression line, the yellow line. Those who have seen Rick Ducat will be familiar with this philosophy and this idea. But it's a one standard deviation channel. I used my same traffic light indication here as we're looking at the S&P 500 again since July 1st, where each one of those candles represents 1 hour. What you'll notice is we're in the upper end of this range. And so this is going to be a moving target. It's going to adjust that yellow line. Said another way, linear regression is a fancy math way of saying if you basically just took all these closing points over the last month for every hour of trading and you drew a line that was best reflecting those points, then that's the yellow line that you see on the screen. And then based off of volatility and the actual movement, the one standard deviation each way are the other two lines. What you'll notice is it's a market that's oscillated around that linear regression, but largely stayed within one standard deviation. There was a period back in the earlier parts of this month, sort of the middle point of this month, around the 16th, where we did test below that by quite a margin. This is when some of those news headlines about Powell being potentially removed as Fed chair were breaking. We quickly, recovered from those. But this is another way of saying, Nicole, we're at kind of a lofty level just for the last month's trade. Doesn't mean we have to sell off, but we're at a record. It could make sense if you are someone who's a little bit more of a short-term trader to think about lightening up some of